working with aliens is like being inside a virtual reality game. I know there's games now where a lot of the young people do, where they're sitting in their bedroom on a computer with a controller and the earpiece, and they're playing a game with someone either next door or possibly in Japan or in Europe, but they're all playing the same game and they're all talking at the same time. And that's a lot what it is with the aliens. They want us to know that life is kind of a game, that we should lighten up, play with it more. And they're playing the same game, but they have different rules, and they have a different screen they're looking at, and they have different controllers. But basically, it's all the same game. The game is to make life better for everyone. And just like a game, the levels of reality move up. As we learn and grow, we move up. And that's where Earth is at this point right now, where it's getting to the point where we need to move up to the next level. And that's why consciousness is improving, and there's a lot of spiritual things going on in the world, a lot of changes, and they're helping with that, because humanity and the earth and the animals and everyone needs to move up a level to get to a better place. Because if we continue the way we're going, it's not looking good. It's looking kind of destructive and harmful. But they won't let us have a nuclear war. They've already proved that. They're not allowed to interfere too much, because we all have free will. But if it comes to the point that we're going to blow up the earth or do something really terrible that's going to affect other dimensions and other beings and other worlds, they can interfere then and put a stop to it. So I've never been afraid of a nuclear war. And I wanted to know how they find us. Me, like most other contactees, have moved a lot. And I think it's a subconscious thing to kind of get away, and hide from them. But they always find you, no matter where you go. And so Crowd explained to me that we live and have our being in something called the ethers, which is like the Force of Star Wars, or divine mind, or just the unified field, is what the scientists call it. And it's kind of like an atmosphere, like the way I see them swimming in our atmosphere. And they are able to kind of drop concepts and ideas into the ethers as humanity is ready to receive them. And people who are sensitive and aware can pick up those ideas and work with it and bring new inventions, bring maybe healings, cures, medical cures. But the way they see us as individuals, I know some people talk about implants. As far as I know, I don't have an implant. I've had CAT scans and MRIs and things, and nothing ever showed up. But Croat also showed me that we each have auras with our different colors and shapes and patterns in our colorful auras that surround our bodies. And he showed me mine looks kind of like a sea anemone with the little tentacles that reach out. And if I'm around people that I feel a connection with, the tentacles stretch out and they kind of interact with each other as an energy exchange. And that's why you feel good around certain people or get more energy. And if you're around someone who's maybe negative, hurtful, violent, your aura withdraws like a sea anemone when you poke it. And many, many people right now are walking around in the world with their auras drawn in because there is so much fear and hurtful situations and hurtful people in the world right now. And a lot of our language reflects that, like show your true colors, let your light shine. That all means let your aura expand, feel free to open it up. In a group like this, you can open it up and it feels wonderful. And so he showed me that's how they recognize people, is not only with their auras, but he took me to a scene on a New York City street where it was very crowded, lots of people, busy. And each person walking on that sidewalk had thought forms around their heads, like bees buzzing around a hive. And each person's thought forms look different. They look like cartoon speech bubbles in a way. And the angry ones are pointed, and the sad or fearful, or the sad ones are kind of gray or black, and the fearful ones might be red or orange. And the loving ones shine really bright, like little bubbles, like rainbow bubbles. And that's how they can find us. They look for the bright lights, the rainbow bubbles. So the more we have gratitude and appreciation and love, it's easier for them to find us. And that's the kind of people they're looking for, because they're looking for the positive upliftment.